Cori has been a licensed esthetician for 15 years and loves being a SkinCeuticals educator. She is passionate about educating on ingredients and loves to help others understand their skin and the world of skincare. Cori, thank you so much for joining us today, and I can't wait to hear what you have to share with us today.
Thank you so much, Chrissy. And thank you everyone for being here today. We have an amazing session in store for all of you. Let me go ahead and share my presentation. How does that look, Chrissy?
It looks great.
Fabulous. As Chrissy said, we are going to be talking about summer skincare, sharing some top tips from us here at SkinCeuticals in order to help you maintain a healthy and radiant complexion all summer season. There are a lot of different changes that happen to our skin, so we want to make sure that you're prepared. But before we do that, I do want to take some time and chat a little bit about our founding scientists and where SkinCeuticals all got started. This is Dr. Sheldon Pinnell. He was, of course, SkinCeuticals' founding scientist, but he also discovered how to properly formulate the first ever topical vitamin C serum many, many years ago. His quest for knowledge is really what is still a core of who we are at SkinCeuticals. We are the antioxidant authority. He conducted over 40 years of research, more than 100 peer-reviewed publications, and published over 200 scientific articles. Although he passed away in 2013, his work will continue to inspire our research here at SkinCeuticals and promote our mission, which is to develop advanced skincare backed by science. And truly continuing his mission is what has given us the title of the #1 medical aesthetic skincare brand worldwide. We're so happy to have you here with us today. Again, our mission is to improve skin health, and dedicated to this perfect purpose, we make one simple promise. That is to provide you with advanced skincare backed by science, but also with education, right? So our high potency formulas are concentrated in pure actives and proven to penetrate optimally into the skin. Our clinical skincare is used by dermatologists, plastic surgeons, estheticians, and beautiful people like you at home. We formulate to correct signs of aging, protect healthy skin, and prevent future damage. So again, thank you so much for spending your afternoon or morning or evening, wherever you are in the world, with us to learn about your skin and learn about skincare. So today, again, we're talking about summer skincare myths, and of course, giving you lots of options for product changes to implement into your routine. But one of the top questions that we get at SkinCeuticals is, how do I layer my products? So before we dive into any of that, I just want to remind all of you, this is a really great cheat sheet to have. So if you have a pen and paper, if you want to take a screenshot, go ahead, save this for later, because it's a top question that we get every single day at SkinCeuticals. How do I layer my products? There are so many products. I don't know what to use. What's going to be best for me? Well, please utilize the chat widget box. Like Chrissy said, we're here to help you. You have excellent SkinCeuticals educators on standby to answer any of your immediate questions, to walk you through that process. But in general, you want to start with your first step as cleansing. So it's always going to be #1. #2, go ahead and tone and apply your essence. If you do that, if that's in your routine, that's where this would happen. Tone, then essence. After that, you're going to apply your antioxidant. In the morning, that's going to be your vitamin C serum. In the evening, it's going to be a nighttime antioxidant, whatever that may be, if that's part of your nighttime routine. After that, you can apply any eye products and then follow up with your serums. Now, this is where it can get tricky and we get tripped up sometimes, because we have quite a few serums, right? And we don't know what to use when. A general rule of thumb, again, feel free to ask us in the chat, whatever you have, we're here to help you. But thinnest to thickest in terms of consistency. So look at the viscosity of your product. Usually you want to apply from thinnest to thickest. Now there's a couple caveats here. If you have a retinol for nighttime, that's typically going to go on first. Any of your actives will go on first at nighttime, right? And then the rest of your serums in order of thinnest to thickest in terms of consistency. So good rule of thumb there, good reminder. After that, your moisturizers. And then after that, your sunscreen if it's daytime. So that's the rule of thumb when it comes to layering your products. Of course, this can change with the amount of products you have and any seasonal swaps that you may make. So before we dive in, I have a question for you. I have a poll question that I want all of you guys to participate in. And I want to know, do you change up your skincare routine for summer? Yes, no, I want to, but I don't know where to start. Let me know in the chat. And there's no wrong answer here. This is more for me. It's a selfish question. Here we go. 43% said yes. 43% said no. Okay, equal 50-50 tie. I love this. And 14% said, I want to, but I don't know where to start. Don't worry, you're going to learn all about that during today's class. Okay, so before we dive into all of the education, I want to just cover some of the top skincare myths that we hear as skincare professionals that some of you may still believe to this day. So let's debunk some of these really popular myths when it comes to summer and your skincare. So one of the top myths is a base tan helps to protect the skin against sunburn. So many believe this, that if we get just a little bit of color that we're protected from the sun, but any change in color in your skin, regardless of the shade of skin that you are, means that your skin has experienced damage. Any change in color is responding to injury. So you are damaging your skin when you are getting a base tan. A base tan also does not protect you from UV rays and kind of give you like a one-up on getting a sunburn. The only effective way to prevent a sunburn and skin damage is to use your sunscreen every time that you're in the sun. And dermatologists do recommend a sunscreen of at least SPF of at least 30 when you're going outdoors, of course. Next, sunscreen lasts all day if it has a super high SPF. Now, this is a super confusing concept, right? Because if we think the higher the SPF, the longer we're going to be protected. But the sun protection factor, or SPF, of a formula is not a measure of how long you're protected, like how long you could be outside before reapplying, but more how much it's going to protect you from a sunburn. So for example, if your sunscreen has an SPF of 50, a sun protection factor of 50, that means that the formula is going to take, it takes 50 times longer. I'm already confused. 50 times longer to burn if you weren't wearing sunscreen. So 50 times longer to burn than if you weren't wearing sunscreen. But that's only going to be true if you're reapplying every 2 hours, right? So we have to apply, number one, enough, and number two, every 2 hours to make sure that we get that 50 times protection from sunburn. Next, we have this one here. You don't need to moisturize on hot summer days. Now, higher temps and humidity can make us feel like we may not need to apply moisturizer, but our skin can actually get extremely dehydrated during the summer. And we're going to talk about how and why that happens in a second. So it's really important to hydrate and to moisturize all year long, but especially during the summer. And we might need to make a little tweaks to that process depending on our skin type and where we are in the world. Another top myth when it comes to hydration is that misting with water or taking a dip in a body of water is going to give us enough hydration. Misting with water and maybe taking a dip in a lake, the ocean, the pool may feel good in the moment, but we're actually going to dehydrate our skin more, right? So we really want to make sure that we are paying attention to how we're hydrating and rehydrating after being outside, in the water, all of that jazz. And this is probably my favorite myth, and one of the myths that I hear all of the time is that you can't use retinol in the summer. Now, this is a huge misconception, but it's easy to believe that you should stop, because sometimes the retinol journey can cause some discomfort or temporary changes in the skin that it's not enjoyable, right? Tightness, flakiness, things like that. But retinol can and should be used all year long. We just want to make sure we are applying it the correct way. So in the evening, we are applying a pea-size amount. We are properly hydrating afterwards and supporting our skin barrier, and that we're always wearing a sunscreen to protect our skin every morning. So you don't need to stop your retinol. You can continue that journey in the summer. Just make sure you're protecting your skin properly. So I hope some of those myths were debunked for you. And if you know anybody that still believes these, or you see someone talking about this, now you're armed with the education to tell them, actually, that's not correct. And you can pull up with the knowledge next time you hear one of those myths. Now, why and how does our skin change during the summer? There are a lot of things that are happening, and a lot of things we know that are happening, but how does it affect our skin, and why should we pay attention to these changes? So first off, we're experiencing more sun exposure. This is just a fact of summer. The sun is out, depending on where you're at in the world, how much time you're spending outdoors. It's almost impossible to avoid at this point. Even if you avoid the sun like the plague, which I hear from from people all the time. Well, I'm not out in the sun. I just go to get the mail and come back, and I walk the dog really quickly and come back. Sun damage is cumulative, right? So even if you're going out for 2 seconds at a time, those 2 seconds add up. So you always want to make sure that you're protecting your skin. Once UV radiation changes your skin cells, DNA damage really occurs and can't be reversed. However, this doesn't mean that you can't change the appearance of your skin, treat, reduce, and or repair the effects of sun damaged skin. And we're going to teach you how today. Next, we're experiencing some lifestyle changes, right? We're planning vacations, we're on the go, we're in the water more, and we may be slacking on our skincare routines. If you're spending a lot of time indoors with the AC pumping, in the car with the air conditioning pumping, all of that is super dehydrating. So we can see a lack of hydration in the skin. So reduction in water content in the skin can cause our skin to look rough, dull, textured, and just lackluster and not glowing, right? And that's going to cause a slew of issues like overcompensating with our own oil production. We're going to make our own moisture because we're lacking water, and the only moisture the skin can make is oil. And that's not always a good thing because the excess oil production with the increase in sweat and humidity from high temperatures together is a combination for congestion, blackheads, whiteheads, even acne. And if you already suffer from breakouts or you're breakout prone, summer may be a time where you notice breakouts coming back or acne worsening from these various environmental and lifestyle factors. So just things to pay attention to when you're in the sun, when you're in air conditioning all day, when you're outside having a great time, when you're vacationing, when you're sweating, just so that you know what's happening to your skin, how it affects it, and you could be proactive to really combat some of these concerns that may pop up from these issues. Now, we're going to share the 6 steps that every summer skincare routine should have. There may be a few seasonal swaps or key modifications to your current skincare routine that may stand out to you that maybe you can implement now to maintain that clear, glowing, and healthy, radiant complexion as you move through the season into the fall, right? So let's go ahead and start with our step 1, which is cleansing. And I just want to highlight here, it's not necessary to overhaul your entire routine. I don't want you to feel like you need to go and buy an entire 6-step routine and start over from scratch. You absolutely do not need to do that, but there are a few key modifications that you can make and seasonal swaps that are really easy to do in the meantime, right? So just to carry us through the season. So starting with cleansing, which is the first step of your skincare routine, I have a poll question before we start this because I'm curious to know how many of you know how to properly cleanse the skin, right? So how long do you think that you should cleanse your skin? How long do you think we should spend cleansing? How much time should we be spending manipulating our skin with our cleanser? Is it 10 seconds? Is it 15 seconds or less? Is it 60 seconds? How long should we be rubbing this cleanser on our skin? I feel like I need some Jeopardy music here. Let's see, I'm so excited. Okay, of course, I'm not surprised. These are LovelySkin customers. You're educated and you know your stuff. 65% of you said 60 seconds, 31% of you said 50 seconds or less, and 4% said 10 seconds. So the correct answer is at least 60 seconds. That's a good recommendation for cleansing your skin. So you want to be cleansing your skin for 60 seconds to really give your skin that thorough, deep cleanse. We want to lift dirt. We want to lift impurities. We want to make sure that we're removing sunscreen, makeup if we wear makeup, and really providing a clear canvas for the rest of our skincare products to be more effective, to absorb deeper, and to give us the results that we're looking for, right? So when we're looking at cleansing during the summer, a few little swaps that you can make or things that you can look out for is making sure you're using a foaming cleanser at least once a day. So this may be a time to leave the creams and the balms and the oils kind of on the shelf for a little bit, for a few months, and reach for something that's foaming. So why do we want to do this? So a foaming cleanser, something like our Simply Clean, which you see pictured here. I have it here actually because it's one of my favorite cleansers to use during the summertime. Love using this in the morning. Simply Clean Cleanser has that mild gel foaming action. It doesn't strip the skin. It thoroughly removes makeup, oil, debris. You could use it around the eyes. It's really lovely. And it even has mild exfoliants from fruit acids to just gently swipe away any dead surface skin cells that are ready to go. But again, does not leave the skin feeling tight or dry. Highly recommend switching over to a foaming cleanser. If you have more out of balance skin or you experience congestion, breakouts, you tend to see that your skin's more oily, or if you're just an oily combination skin type in general, I would suggest trying an exfoliating cleanser. Now, exfoliating cleansers typically can present in different ways, right? So you can have an AHA like glycolic acid in it. You can have a BHA like salicylic acid in it. Those are both exfoliating cleansers, typically in like a gel consistency, that foam, or a physical exfoliant. So something that you feel physically buffing and polishing your skin. Those are the three options you have as exfoliating cleansers. So something with AHAs, something with BHAs, or something with a physical scrub. The reason why you should incorporate this maybe a few times a week, maybe every day if you're oily and acne prone, or if you just want your skin to be super bright, if you have discoloration, if you're noticing you are producing a lot of oil this summer, or if you just live in a more humid climate where it's just like humidity all the time, super high temperatures. I'm in the desert, so it's actually like 100 degrees right now. And that's just like not good for the skin because you're just sweating if you're outside. So we really want to make sure we're decongesting, cleaning up that excess oil, making sure that our skin stays nice and smooth and preventing those breakouts. And this is a great way to do that, right? So I love actually our LHA cleanser. If you're oily, if you have an oily skin type, oily aging skin, LHA cleanser is phenomenal. It has salicylic acid, it has lipohydroxy acid, really good combination. And again, doesn't strip the skin. It actually feels really good. The skin still feels hydrated after you rinse it off, but it has that foaming action and it really keeps the skin so clear throughout the season. Another option would be maybe glycolic renewal cleanser. I love this for discoloration. If you have age spots, if you have past blemish marks, if you have sunspots, brown spots, uneven skin tone, or you feel like your skin's dull and lackluster, glycolic, it's like G for glycolic, G for glow. This is the glycolic glow, right? It's a glycolic foaming gel cleanser. You can use it to really help even the skin tone and give you that radiant, beautiful complexion while keeping and reducing excess oil too. I also just want to remind everybody, don't forget to cleanse thoroughly, making sure we're getting every crevice of the face, working in small circular motions, making sure the skin is wet when we're applying our cleanser, applying about a nickel size to a quarter size amount in the palm of our hand, foaming it up first, and then applying it to the face. I like to work in just little tiny circular motions, 10 seconds each section of my face. So 10 sections on my cheek, then the forehead, and I'll just kind of do everything, even my neck, and kind of get close to the ears and the hairline. A lot of times we miss those spots and makeup buildup and sunscreen can really congest those areas there. So make sure we're thoroughly cleansing and don't forget to double cleanse in the evening. So a double cleanse, all that means is that you're cleansing twice. You don't have to have two different cleansers to do that. You can just cleanse once with the cleanser, cleanse twice with the same cleanser, and then move on to your skincare routine. Double cleansing in the evening is a game changer. Highly recommend trying it if you haven't done so. You don't really need to double cleanse in the morning, but I would definitely double cleanse in the evening, especially during the summertime. So next step we have here is prevention. So our vitamin C antioxidants, right? So especially important during the summertime as well as all year round. SkinCeuticals vitamin C antioxidants offer clinically proven defense against summer's heightened environmental stressors. So more UV exposure. Sunscreen can help protect against certain summertime skin problems, but it's the measure alone of a sunscreen is insufficient for optimal protection against external aggressors that produce free radicals like pollution, like smog, like engine exhaust, things like that that we're experiencing at a heightened level during the summer season. So making sure that we are incorporating a vitamin C antioxidant serum in our daily routine once daily every day is absolutely key during the summer. Now we have a few options at SkinCeuticals. If you're not using a SkinCeuticals vitamin C serum, it's okay. We'd love to help you find out which one's going to be the best for you. Let us know in the chat. CE Ferulic is probably the one all of you have heard about. It's for aging skin, normal to combination skin. Dry skin does really well with this. Vitamin C serum for fine lines and wrinkles. Beautiful formula. You can use this all summer long. If, and I have a tip for you, if you tend to get more oily in the summer, if you break out, if you have oily aging skin, Silomerin CF is going to be the best option for you. This is formulated for oily, blemish prone skin, skin prone to breakouts, congestion, blackheads, still gives you that vitamin C antioxidant protection. And then if you're prone to discoloration or maybe even want to get ahead of it during the summer, maybe you usually use CE Ferulic, but you want to try something different for summer, Fluorescent CF is my absolute recommendation for summer. Helps to prevent and address discoloration while still giving you that antioxidant protection. So please make sure that you're applying a vitamin C antioxidant serum during the summer and all year round. It helps to prevent sunburn cell formation. So when you apply it with a sunscreen, you're getting what we call double defense. It's really going to help to improve collagen production, visible brightness of the complexion, wrinkles, firmness, everything in one. Prevention is the key, right? So you're going to do this with this serum as well as visible correction over time. And the longer you use it, the better your skin is going to look. Results get better with time. So that's going to be your second most essential step, a vitamin C antioxidant serum in your daytime routine. Now, when it comes to corrective serums in general, there are a few ingredients that you may want to remember or consider adding into your routine if you don't already have these already. So number one is going to be adding in a beta hydroxy acid, BHA, like salicylic acid. Salicylic acid helps to regulate excess oil production, soak up excess oil that can lead to clogged pores and clear away dead skin cells. Really works deep into the pores to clear away that excess oil and debris. I love salicylic acid in any way, shape, or form. Remember, you can easily implement that in a cleanser like our LHA cleanser, or maybe in your vitamin C serum like Silamer CF that has salicylic acid in it, which is awesome. So you get that kind of like prevention and correction in one, multi-benefit here. And then, of course, we have our blemish and age defense, which is my holy grail serum. I love this. A lot of customers will say, well, I don't have acne, I don't have blemishes, but I'm worried about aging, but I have oily skin. Blemish and age defense is still going to be great for you. It has glycolic and salicylic acid together. So a really good combination to help improve visible signs of aging and glow, as well as keep your pores clean. So if you have maybe blackheads or congested skin, I would still recommend blemish and age defense, especially during the summer. Really awesome corrective serum for you. Next, I would still recommend highly a retinol throughout the summer to really help maintain that supple and youthful complexion. Now, if you're afraid to continue to use your retinol in the summer, I would just give you a couple of tips. So after you apply your retinol in the evening, make sure that you're applying a hyaluronic acid serum. Follow that up with a lipid-rich cream to support the skin barrier. Our skin barrier is made up of different lipids. I love Triple Lipid Restore 242 for this. This is like a sure fire combination to really maintain that healthy, radiant complexion all summer long. Applying your retinol, applying triple lipid right after really helps to shorten the adjustment period of your skin to retinol. It has different lipids in it, like ceramides, fatty acids, natural cholesterol, to help really repair and support the skin barrier and enhance skin's ability to naturally self-repair. So you don't have to stop the retinol. Maybe you just need to partner something else with it to maintain the youthful appearance of the skin and really counteract any of the discomfort that may come with retinol, right? And then lastly, I would highly recommend a hyaluronic acid serum in your summer skincare routine, something lightweight, something that's not going to clog the pores. We really love hydrating B5 gel for this. And not only is it oil-free and super lightweight, but it really leaves the skin feeling super supple. It absorbs instantly. It's got this like beautiful gel texture in it that the skin just soaks up. It's like if you think about a dry soil on a plant that hasn't been watered in a while, it's like watering that dry soil just kind of soaks it up, right? So this is what hydrating B5 gel does for the skin. And again, it's super lightweight, it's breathable, it works in any skincare routine, and it's really going to help to counteract a lot of that dehydration that we talked about earlier, while helping to enhance the suppleness of your skin with the essential nutrient vitamin B5 in the mix as well. So such an easy way. And bonus, hydrating B5 gel can double as a moisturizer during the summer. So you might eliminate two steps by just including hydrating B5 gel. It can be your hydrator and it can also be your moisturizer. So really lovely to just kind of have in your back pocket. And if you have it at home, now you have an extra tip and way to use it, right? Wonderful. So now we're moving on to moisturizing. This step is absolutely essential during the summer. We saw this in one of the myths that we shared with you earlier. A lot of people think that you don't have to moisturize your skin or apply a cream during the summer season. While it may feel like that, if we don't apply moisture to the skin, we can see dehydration and concerns come from that. Moisturizing is just as important in the summer as it is in the winter, but we may want to use different formulas if we have a specific skin type, or we're noticing certain things change in our skin during the summer season. So what things we want to look like at our textures, right? So the first thing we want to consider is the texture. Is the texture feeling like it's too thick for me? Is this why I am not reaching for my moisturizer because it just feels suffocating to me? If that's so, then it might be that you need to reach for something lightweight, like a gel versus a cream, or something that's oil-free. Making sure that it's non-comedogenic, right? So that just means that it's not going to clog your pores, that it's not going to cause congestion, which is really something we need to look out for during the summer when congestion is definitely more prevalent. And again, you want to look for products that are going to be hydrating, formulated with humectants like hyaluronic acid, like glycerin, like ceramides, that are going to actually draw and retain water, bind water to the skin, and lock that in so that we prevent a lot of that dehydration and then stop that excess oil production in its tracks. So a few options for you to reach for during the summer. Now, if you are thinking to yourself, well, I have Triple Lipid Restore 242, or I have AGE Interrupter Advanced and those are thicker, do I have to stop using that? Absolutely not. If that's working for you and you feel like it is just, your skin is drinking it up and it's not having any issues with it, then you might not need to switch out your moisturizer. That's totally fine. You can even just use less of what you normally use, right? So just less triple lipid when you're applying, or less AGE Interrupter Advanced when you're applying. So things to think about. Pay attention to how your skin is feeling when you're applying your products, how you go throughout the day applying your products, and that'll tell you, do I need to swap it out for something lighter? Maybe you need to use something lighter during the day only, and you can use your thicker, richer cream in the evening, which is what I love to do, right? It's just something nicer for the skin. It feels better, and the skin is less likely to get congested, less likely to see breakouts, and those blackheads and whiteheads come through too. So just some helpful tips when it comes to your moisturizing steps. And then we have sunscreen, probably one of the most important steps in your skincare routine. It is going to protect your skin. It's going to protect the investment that you're making in your skin. And before we dive into some of these tips, I have a little pop quiz question for you guys. Now, we talked a little bit about sunscreen before, but I want to see how many of you remember and retained this information. What does SPF stand for? What do you think SPF stands for? We talked about this at the beginning when we talked about the myth of higher SPF protecting you longer. If you don't remember, we have three options here. Is it sun protection formula, solar pattern factor, or sun protection factor? Which of the three? What does SPF stand for? This is a fun pop quiz though, right? Fabulous. 89% got it correct. Sun protection factor. SPF stands for sun protection factor. Now, to get the level of the sun protection factor that's stated on any sunscreen label, so you're going to see that usually in big letters here. Hopefully you can see that. So this is a sun protection factor of 50. To get that protection, first and foremost, you need to apply an even layer to the face, neck, and chest 15 minutes before sun exposure and before applying makeup. So another helpful tip for you guys, sunscreen is going to go on after your moisturizer and before your makeup, right? So sometimes we can get confused on the process there. So after your moisturizer, before your makeup, you want to make sure you're applying enough sunscreen as well. Most people don't apply enough sunscreen, and make sure we read the instruction labels on it. So for example, this is a mineral sunscreen. This is Physical Fusion UV Defense. In order for us to get the most protection out of it and for it to feel luxurious on the skin, we actually need to shake it up really well. It has a little bead in there. We want to mix up the zinc oxide, make sure that it blends, the translucent color spheres, everything there, shake it up really well, and then dispense it into your hand. So make sure you read the instructions on your sunscreen so you make sure that you're using it correctly, because every formula is a little bit different. Now, you want to make sure, again, you're using enough. A nickel-sized dollop should be used for the face alone, right? So that should be just for the face, usually like a fourth teaspoon or 0.4 ounces. For the face. And I actually measured this out yesterday because I was curious to see if I was actually even using enough. And it's not that, it doesn't feel like that much. So you just put it into the palm of your hand. It's about, I would say, a little bigger than a quarter size amount into the palm of your hand, and then go ahead and apply it to the full face, making sure we're getting the ears and taking it down to the neck as well. And then you want to reapply your sunscreen at least every 2 hours, especially after swimming, especially after sweating and drying off with a towel. Now, if you're applying your sunscreen and it's not enjoyable to use, if you feel like it's sticky, you're skipping sunscreen because it's just not a step that you enjoy, which is real life. If we're not enjoying using something, we're less likely to apply it. The best sunscreen for you is going to be the one that you actually enjoy applying and the one that you are consistent with. So first and foremost, that's how to choose the best sunscreen for you. Do you enjoy applying it? Does it feel good on the skin, right? So things to think about. During the summer, I love more of a lightweight texture when it comes to sunscreen. I also love mattifying sunscreens. If you're oily or live in a particularly humid climate, our physical matte UV Defense sunscreen is a mattifying sunscreen. It's like a tinted mousse. I also love that it gives you kind of like a no makeup look, but the mousse itself actually absorbs excess oil throughout the day. In fact, it has ingredients in it that help to absorb oil up to 15 times its weight in oil, which is really, really awesome. And of course, to get that beautiful even skin tone finish that looks good on the skin right before makeup. Other than that, I love our Clear Daily Soothing UV Defense. That's our newer sunscreen. It's super lightweight, and bonus, it has peptides in it that help to reduce visible redness. So if you're somebody that gets like red during the summer when you're hot, heat kind of activates redness in your skin. This is going to be your best friend. It's so good. It's lightweight and it hydrates with glycerin. So you get that hydration to prevent dehydration and rehydrate the skin. You reduce visible redness from environmental triggers, and then you get that broad spectrum protection in a super lightweight feel. But of course, we have a total beautiful list of different sunscreens that you can choose from: mineral sunscreens, chemical sunscreens, hybrid sunscreens that contain both of them. So definitely lots of options for you. Happy again to help you in the chat if you have questions on which one's going to be best for you to use. Also, just make sure that it is a broad spectrum sunscreen, which most sunscreens are broad spectrum, but it will say on the bottle, on the package, broad spectrum. If it doesn't say broad spectrum, I would use a different sunscreen. Broad spectrum means that it's protecting you from both rays: UVA, which are the aging rays, and UVB, which are the burning rays. And we need protection from both, right? So just make sure it's broad spectrum. Make sure it's at least an SPF of 30 or higher. Another question I want to cover before we leave is that I get this question a lot. I have SPF 15 or 30 in my makeup. Is that enough is that enough for me? Like, can I just use that? That's a tricky question because yes, you have SPF in that formula. However, we don't always apply enough makeup to get the most protection, right? So remember, you have to apply a fourth of a teaspoon of sunscreen to get the protection. We're typically not applying like that much makeup in that even of a layer. And if we did, we would look probably extremely cakey and it would be really thick. So the safest bet is to apply your sunscreen and then your makeup, right? So that way you're getting a little bit more protection, but you have that even layer of protection from the actual sunscreen formula first. So still apply the sunscreen, then apply the makeup after. So those are the 6 steps that are absolutely essential in your summer skincare routine, and different ingredients to consider and swaps to make or things to add or swap out to make sure that we have the healthiest, most glowy, most radiant skin throughout the summer. That way we don't pop up in the fall with discoloration, pop up in the fall with rough texture, or feel extremely dry and dehydrated once the winter season comes. So hopefully those are some tips that you can put in your back pocket and save and share. But there are a few additional things that I want everybody else to consider and to think about, right? So we didn't talk about toners really, but I do want to highlight that if you're not using a toner, toners can be a great addition to your summer skincare routine. They are great to help remove any oil, any excess debris. They're really designed to improve the appearance of different skin types and address specific concerns depending on your unique skin type and your needs. So you can really create kind of like a bespoke serum and really routine and tailor your routine with with a toner, right? Address a specific concern. Not only that, I love that it can be a gentle and effective way to exfoliate the skin, to add another layer of exfoliation. And then it can also be used in place of a cleanser actually when you're on the go. So maybe you're working out a lot, or you're waking up and you don't have time for a cleanse, or you're outside after a long day at the pool, but you just want to rush to dinner and you don't have time to do the entire routine. I love our cleansers for, or our toners for this reason, because you can just take a little cotton swab and then you can just put the toner on the swab, and then you can just take off all of that dirt and grime and sweat and oil and carry on, right? So it's um, such a great additional step to consider during the summer season to reap those extra benefits. And we love conditioning toner, good for all skin types. So really helps to gently lift any dead surface skin cells, help with refining the skin texture and improving overall glow for the rest of your routine. So just an easy little addition there. If you haven't ever used a toner, it might be a great time to start just for the next couple months. Masks are also a great, easy way to elevate your routine and amplify your summer routine without having to overhaul anything. So if you feel like I'm super happy with my routine right now, nothing is feeling too heavy, too sticky, too greasy, I'm not really breaking out, but I do want to get ahead of some of those environmental changes, a mask is a great way to do so. They're fast and easy treatments that you can do at home. They're a beneficial addition and an easy addition to your skincare routine, and they deliver high concentrations of key ingredients to help address a specific concern. Oftentimes, the benefits of a mask are felt immediately after application, which I love so much, because you really see those visible changes instantly, and they're quick. It's really fast. So you just apply for 10 minutes, leave it on the skin, go ahead and rinse off. Now, I will tell you, let's dive a little bit deeper on how to use it. You do want to make sure that your skin is nice and clean before you apply a mask. So cleanse your skin, apply the mask to clean dry skin in an even layer all over, leave it on for 10 minutes, and then rinse it off. After that, continue with the rest of your routine in your order, in your layering process from beginning to end, right? So you can use your mask in the morning, you can use your mask at night. I love to pick like one day of the week and make it like a moment for myself. So maybe it's a Sunday self-care day. Maybe you have a show or a book that you're really into. You can really add a little habit stack routine there, right? So apply your mask, go ahead and read your book, watch your show. Really easy way to integrate it into your routine without it taking a lot of time, right? So for summer and to keep your skin nice and clear, I love clarifying clay mask. This is like such a beautiful mask. It's non-drying, but it features clays, really beautiful natural earth clays like kaolin and bentonite, which help to lift impurities and help remove excess oil. Also gently exfoliates the skin, and you can use it 2 to 3 times a week, which is really nice. So it's kind of like your professional at-home treatment and in the comfort of your home, right? Really, really fun. Now, the second mask that I highly recommend, if you know that you are going to be in the sun a lot, our phytocorrective mask is absolutely beautiful. This is really great for helping to alleviate a sunburn, help to repair and recover the skin, and reduce visible redness and cool and calm the skin down. So keep it on hand in your vanity if you are going to be traveling, going on vacation, or just getting a lot of sun exposure. You could even apply it on the chest and the neck and the back. Really good for helping to repair skin after a sunburn. And last but not least, we have some really helpful travel tips for all of you. Pre-flight skincare routine. If you want to take a snapshot of this or a screenshot, really helpful. Also, just to remember before a flight, we really want to make sure we're taking care of our skin. Number one, exfoliating is really helpful to make sure we remove any dead skin cells that can cause congestion during our flight. Applying a vitamin C antioxidant to protect us from environmental aggressors while we're flying. Applying a hydrating serum like hyaluronic acid, a broad spectrum sunscreen to protect from UVA rays, which are stronger when we're in the air flying. And then, of course, hydrating. So dehydration during a flight is very common. That cabin air is super, super dehydrating. So misting, I always recommend misting the skin with something like phytocorrective essence mist that has glycerin and hyaluronic acid. So really easy for you to pack next time. And lastly, some extra skincare tips for traveling for you. Just making sure the day before your departure, you're hydrating internally, making sure we're getting all of that yummy hydration, antioxidant rich foods. Bonus points if you include electrolytes in your hydrating process. Consider taking and carrying on your skincare routine with you just in case your luggage gets lost. At least you have your skincare with you, so that way you're going to apply it when you're on vacation. I know this is a hard one, but skip the alcohol and caffeine when flying to prevent further dehydration to your skin and body. If you can do that, that's excellent. And don't forget to prep your eyes and lips. A lot of times we forget about eyes and lips. Those can get really dehydrated, and the skin around that area is super thin. And lastly, if you take one thing away from the application tips, make sure we're applying a mist, a hydrating mist throughout the flight. Super easy. It's touchless hydration. You don't need to touch your face or worry about bacteria transferring. And again, you have glycerin and hyaluronic acid, both humectants to bind water to the skin. Okay, I think it might be time to answer some of your questions. I'm just going to pop out of here and then we can get to it.
Okay, let me pull up my little list
Now,
here.
now that we shared all those travel tips, I'm like, I want to get on a plane now.
Yeah, it's time. Let's go. Where are we going?
Yeah, where's everybody going? Let us know. Are you taking a really cool vacation? I need some ideas.
Um, okay, let's see here. We have some really good questions here. Uh,
Amazing.
let's see. I think I want to tackle these first because they kind of go hand in hand. But Lynn has some questions about cleansing, and
Yeah.
she first of all asked, "How is the gel cleanser? I think Simply Clean is what she's talking about. Compare to gentle cleansing cream, which is better?" So that her skin doesn't feel dry or tight after washing, but at the same time help to remove makeup.
Yes. So gentle cleanser is going to be more of a creamy, hydrating cleanser, where this is going to be foaming gel consistency. This one's also going to have that extra fruit acids in it to help to gently, that's the key here, gently remove surface dead skin cells. So this would be a great mild gel cleanser, a good seasonal swap. So you can even you can still use your gentle cleanser, but maybe in the morning, and then at night you use your Simply Clean cleansing gel. We also at SkinCeuticals love double cleansing with the gentle cleanser actually. So we'll do one cleanse with gentle cleanser, and then we'll do the second cleanse with Simply Clean. So just add this into your evening routine.
That was actually her next question. Like, what
Yeah.
products should she be using and in what order to do a double cleanse with SkinCeuticals products? So we got that one all wrapped up. Let's see here. That you touched on this in your presentation, but I think it's just really good information to reiterate. Tanya asked, what sunscreen number or what SPF would you suggest for daily use?
At least a 30. At least
Okay.
an SPF of 30. And that's it. That's the recommendation from dermatologists, at least a 30. If you know that you're going to be going outside and spending a lot of time outside, I would recommend applying a 50, because remember, you're going to get 50 times the amount of protection from a sunburn, but you still need to reapply every 2 hours to make sure you're getting that constant 50 times protection. Yeah.
We didn't touch on these products today, but I think this is a really good question. Joan asked if you could tell her the difference between Metacell and Cell Cycle Catalyst,
Sure.
and if they do the same thing or they should be used together, kind of how those two play.
I love this question. So they are two separate products. Metacell Renewal B3 is a moisturizer. It's a corrective cream, as we call it, but it's your moisturizer. It has peptides in it to help firm and improve elasticity of the skin. It has niacinamide to help brighten and reduce discoloration and give you glow. And then it has, of course, glycerin to hydrate the skin, which is a humectant. So we love that during the summer. Now, that's going to be used during your moisturizer step. Cell Cycle Catalyst is an anti-aging exfoliating serum, so different. This is going to go on as your first step once daily, either in the morning or the evening. It's got that thinner consistency, so like almost like a water-like texture, and it has AHAs and BHAs, so a blend of acids, and an ingredient called taurine to help improve cellular energy, vitality, skin barrier, and moisture. super gorgeous glow, amplifies your anti-aging routine. Everyone that wants anti-aging should be using cell cycle catalysts. Easy to integrate. But anyways, cell cycle catalyst would go on first, once daily, either morning or evening, and then Metacell Renewal B3 twice a day during your moisturizer step.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lily is doing some LED light therapy at home, and she would like to know how to incorporate her SkinCeuticals products.
Absolutely. We love LED light therapy. So when you're using your LED light therapy, if it's a mask or maybe like sometimes it's a light panel, it comes in so many different like options now, right? But generally you want to use that on clean, dry skin. So if you're using it in the evening, cleanse your skin, do your double cleanse, then go straight to your light, wear the light however long instructions tell you to, and then when you're done, continue with the rest of your routine as usual, whatever that is. And so you can do it in the morning, of course, but just make sure your skin is clean, nice and clean, ready to absorb all of that light, and then the rest of your treatments after, because your skin's ready to receive it, and it's going to really help absorption and efficacy and all of that. So
Cynthia, nope, not Cynthia. Carol, I apologize, is wondering what she should be using for under the eyes to help her dark circles.
okay, I have a couple of options and I have them here. I'm just like ready for you guys today. Here they are. Okay. So for dark circles, we have a couple of options. You don't need to use them both, but if you use them both, you're going to get better benefits. So first would be our AOX Plus Eye Gel, and I just want to show it to you. It's got this gel-like consistency. It has vitamin C and fluoretin, which help with discoloration under the eyes. It's super silky, absorbs instantly, and it feels so good on the skin. It also has caffeine, which helps with circulation. So that would be step one. And then for eye cream, I love our AGE eye complex. Let's see if I can get it and focus there. This instantly is going to give you a beautiful kind of radiant glow, anti-fatigue here. But it also has ingredients to help counteract dark circles, puffiness, crow's feet, basically all the visible signs of aging that we see around the eye area, with a blend of different anti-aging ingredients like Matrixyl 3000, like flavonoids, antioxidants, all that jazz. So 2 products for you there.
Awesome. And let's see here. I think I have one last question.
Oh, my under eyes are glowing.
Arlene, Arlene would like to know if there's a difference between a hydrator and a moisturizer. And if so, how do you tell those products apart? And how do you know when to apply them?
Okay, yeah. So hydrators and moisturizers, I guess a moisturizer can be hydrating, right? So hydrators, I guess that would be considered anything that's going to hydrate the skin. So it could be a hydrating serum, it could be a hydrating moisturizer. So moisturizers can be hydrating. If you're using a hydrating serum, like something with hyaluronic acid in it, that's going to go on first, and then your hydrating moisturizer will go on after. Now, things that are hydrating are things that are going to draw water into the skin. So hydration and moisture are different. So we can kind of decode these. Hydration is anything to do with water content of the skin. Think glycerin, hyaluronic acid, things like that. And then moisture would be locking in, like adding oil or locking in oil, right? The oil content of your skin, making sure that our skin is nice and moisturized. You need both. You need water content, you need oil content, and you need those to be in balance. So that way we don't have out of balance, like too much oil production or too dehydrated of skin. So just make sure we're looking at ingredients, including hyaluronic acid and or glycerin, and then ingredients like ceramides, lipids, things like that to kind of lock that in. So your hydration products can also be moisturizing, if that makes sense. Sometimes it can be confusing. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. If you have any other questions about SkinCeuticals products, you can contact our amazing customer care department. They are at customercare@lovelyskin.com. They get trained by no other than yours truly, Cori Ramos. So same educator for our customers as it is for the people that work at LovelySkin. So that's awesome. And let's see here. I'm just going to make sure there aren't any more questions that came in before I let you go, Cori, because I want to make sure I have everybody answered.
Yeah, I'm looking at the questions. Great questions,
Okay.
everyone. You're welcome, Tanya. Thanks for being here.
They're all such great questions.
I
Okay.
know.
I think we got them all answered. Thank you so much for your time, Cori. We appreciate it always.
Yeah,
And thank you, everybody, for joining us. We hope to see you next time. Take care.
everyone. Have a good summer.
Bye.
Bye.